Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever looked at a still image and wished you could just, well, make it move? Not just, a
Yeah.
simple GIF, but like a real nuanced animation.
Yeah.
We're diving into that exact desire today, exploring the exciting and sometimes kind of surprisingly artistic world of AI-powered image-to-video animation.
Hmm.
Our deep dive specifically looks at a fascinating experiment using a cutting-edge tool called Whisk, powered by VO3.
Right.
And this isn't just theory, it's a practical journey into how these tools are evolving, what creative hurdles they present, and what truly unexpected results they can yield.
It's true. What's particularly fascinating here isn't just the existence of these capabilities, but the speed, right? The speed at which they're developing and how creators are actually using them, like out in the wild.
Exactly.
So we're examining a very recent hands-on experiment that kind of walks us through the step-by-step process of animating just a single static image. Our mission today is really to uncover how one user navigated this whole process, from their initial frustrations with other tools.
Right. To discovering a new approach, the detailed prompt engineering involved, and perhaps most importantly, the unforeseen creative opportunities that kind of blossomed from an unexpected animation style. It's a real look at how creative problem solving happens, right at the frontier of AI art.
And it all kicked off with a common frustration, didn't it? Something many of you might relate to if you've dabbled in AI animation.
Oh, yeah.
Our deep diver initially tried to generate a simple walking animation using a different tool, one called Nano Banana.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted a cohesive, flowing movement, but it just wasn't. Well, it wasn't quite clicking.
Right. It wasn't gelling.
Yeah, Nano Banana could generate each individual frame correctly, which is impressive in isolation, but linking them into a natural, continuous action proved elusive. It was almost like trying to get a toddler to do ballet. Like they can move each limb, but the graceful sequence just isn't there yet.
That's a perfect analogy, actually, and this raises a really important question. When one creative path is blocked, how do you find another one?
Yeah. The discovery of Whisk with VO3 represents exactly that pivot,
Yeah.
opening up a completely new and crucially maybe more accessible way to approach animation that had previously been quite elusive. This wasn't about just like brute forcing the old method and hoping for a breakthrough.
Yeah.
It was about seeking out a fresh solution that could maybe sidestep those existing limitations. So this deep dive is really a quick, practical evaluation of that new process and what it revealed about adapting your creative workflow. It really highlights the iterative nature of working with these advanced tools where adaptability is, well, it's absolutely key.
Now, this next part is quite intriguing. So our deep diver moved on to selecting their starting point once they began exploring Whisk. He actually began with an image that Nano Banana had already generated, and it was a truly beautiful, high-quality anime-style illustration.
Right.
And what's captivating are the vivid details of this source image. I mean, it features a young woman with shoulder-length, wavy teal hair and these striking amber eyes.
Nice description.
She's wearing a cream-colored turtleneck sweater, and you see her from the chest up, positioned slightly to the right side of the frame.
Okay.
Her head is turned gracefully to the left, like she's looking pensively into the distance, holding a white cup adorned with colorful polka dots.
Got it.
The background. It's softly blurred with these beautiful tones of green and blue, subtly suggesting maybe an outdoor cafe with lots of foliage.
Nice mood.
Yeah, and the lighting is gentle and diffused, creating this incredibly serene and thoughtful mood around her.
That's such a clear picture. And to circle back to your point, does starting with such a defined, high-quality aesthetic actually make the AI's job easier or harder when it comes to animation?
That's a good question.
It's interesting, right? Because on one hand, you have a very strong visual to build upon, but on the other, maybe the AI might struggle to interpret how that specific aesthetic should translate into fluid motion without, losing its core identity.
That's a great point. What our deep diver found was that the initial image, despite its beauty, was maybe a bit soft. So before feeding it into the animation tool, they went through a crucial post-processing stage, resizing, sharpening, and auto-adjusting the contrast. This enhancement step really speaks to the craft involved in working with AI. It's not just about hitting a button, right? It's about preparing your inputs to get the best possible output.
Exactly. And zooming out a bit, one of the most critical steps in successful AI generation, whether you're creating images or video, is, well, the precision and detail of your prompt.
Totally.
This experiment really showcases a smart, kind of multi-stage approach to prompt engineering, instead of just trying to guess what prompt would work for animation.
Right.
The user tasked another AI, Gemini, to first describe the existing image in really exquisite detail. That description became the foundational text.
Okay, so they used AI to brief the other AI.
Pretty much. Then they used that incredibly detailed output to rewrite a prompt specifically tailored for video animation.
So it wasn't just a simple copy-paste then. There was significant refinement involved.
Definitely not.
They tweaked the Gemini output, adding elements like bustling cafe background music and making the prompt more concise, focusing on what would translate well to motion.
Precisely. That kind of meticulous detail is often what unlocks the best AI outputs. It's like giving an artist a really comprehensive brief versus just saying, draw a pretty picture.
Makes sense.
The more specific and evocative you are, the more likely you are to get something truly aligned with your vision. The resulting animation prompt they used was this. Anime animation of a serene young woman with teal hair and amber eyes, wearing a cream turtleneck, sitting at an outdoor cafe. She thoughtfully sips from a polka dot cup. The scene is cozy and softly lit, with subtle movements like blinking and hair swaying. The background features blurred greenery and a bustling cafe soundtrack of gentle chatter and a faint, unobtrusive guitar melody.
Wow, that's detailed. Notice the careful balance there between visual and auditory cues, sort of a holistic approach to scene setting.
Exactly.
So, with that meticulously crafted prompt, the video generation process began. Our deep diver noted that there were a few errors during the video generation,
Not uncommon.
which honestly is pretty common when you're pushing the boundaries of these new tools, especially in a rapid prototyping phase.
Sure.
But despite those minor hiccups, the prompt successfully created an animated scene. It absolutely brought that serene young woman to life. But what came out was something really unique, a style that some might not expect. It wasn't hyper-realistic, nor was it like a smooth, traditional cartoon. It had its own distinct flavor.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is that distinct aesthetic that emerged from that process. The animation had a very clear, puppet-like quality.
Puppet-like, how so?
Well, to elaborate on that description, imagine the character moving stiffly, almost as if her joints were rigid and the overall movements were very carefully controlled, much like a marionette or maybe a traditional paper cutout puppet might move. This isn't necessarily a flaw, it's actually a recognized style, often referred to as limited and staccato movement animation.
Limited animation. That's a term that brings to mind a whole history of animation, doesn't it?
It really does.
From early Hanna-Barbera cartoons trying to, save money on frames,
Right.
to the distinctive styles of UPA in the 50s,
Yeah.
or even the original Astro Boy anime, which really embraced simplified movements to tell compelling stories. It proves that less movement doesn't necessarily mean less impact.
You're absolutely right. It's a style with a really rich legacy. And this raises an important question for creators using these tools now. Rather than seeing this as something that needs to be fixed to achieve, say, more fluid photorealistic motion,
Yeah.
how can we actually leverage a distinct style like this creatively? It opens up entirely new artistic avenues if you embrace the unique output of the AI rather than trying to force it into some preconceived mold.
So working with the quirkiness.
Exactly. It's about finding the beauty and creative potential in the unexpected, rather than chasing a singular, often elusive ideal of perfection. It's kind of letting the AI show you a new artistic direction.
So, okay, what does this all mean for you and your own creative ventures with AI? Our deep diver walked away with some really valuable, actionable insights that you can definitely apply. First off, there's this interesting finding, which almost sounds counterintuitive. Our deep diver found that the AI could often generate even more aesthetically pleasing images from a reference than the original reference itself.
Exactly, which kind of challenges our assumption that the source material is always the ideal, right?
Right.
It points to AI's ability to maybe interpret and optimize for certain aesthetic qualities it's been trained on. It's like the AI isn't just mimicking, it's perhaps identifying and refining the underlying aesthetic principles. Maybe correcting subtle imperfections, enhancing consistency, or even harmonizing colors in a way a human might struggle with or just wouldn't think of doing. For creators, this opens up a fascinating avenue, using AI not just to create, but to sort of elevate and perfect initial concepts, almost like having an endlessly patient, hyper-skilled digital assistant for refinement.
AI as an aesthetic enhancer. I like it.
It's a powerful concept.
Okay, that makes so much sense. And for the second key takeaway, the power of breaking down a scene first. Describing a scene first can seriously help you refine your animation prompts. Having Gemini break down all the elements of that serene cafe scene meant our deep diver could easily identify and then tweak specific details for the animation, like making sure the prompt explicitly included the action of sipping the tea.
Yeah, and this is a critical point for anyone working with generative AI, really. It's easy to just throw a simple prompt at a tool and hope for the best. But these experiments continually show that the more precisely you can articulate your vision, even by leveraging another AI to help you describe it, the more likely you are to get a nuanced, compelling result. It helps you move from generic outputs to something truly specific and intentional.
So using AI for descriptive clarity before asking for the generative output.
You got it.
And finally, a really exciting insight. Explore the possibilities of staccato movement animation.
Yeah.
As the generated video demonstrates, this very puppet-like style can actually be an incredibly useful creative tool. It might not be what you initially envisioned, but with the right editing, adding a thoughtful voiceover and carefully chosen music, you can absolutely create a fun, engaging, and highly distinctive animation.
Absolutely. This isn't a limitation, it's a distinct artistic choice. I mean, think of how stop motion animation works, right?
Oh yeah, like Wallace and Gromit or something.
Exactly. Or even the cutout styles of Terry Gilliam's work for Monty Python. They intentionally use limited movement to achieve specific humorous or surreal effects. This limited and staccato output from AI opens up a similar kind of expressive space. It's about working with the tool's inherent style, not against it, to discover new creative vocabularies.
Embracing the AI's personality.
Yeah, embracing the unique personality the AI brings to the table and integrating that into your artistic vision.
Broader still, these aren't just like technical observations or tips for a specific piece of software, are they? They feel like profound insights into how we can better collaborate with AI tools across the board.
I think so too.
Understanding their strengths, acknowledging their unique outputs, and even embracing styles that weren't necessarily what we initially aimed for allows us to push creative boundaries in new and exciting ways, rather than simply expecting perfect photorealism every single time. It encourages a shift in mindset, really.
It genuinely does. These learnings kind of prompt us to consider, how does this change your approach to AI generation? Are you open to discovering new artistic expressions that the AI might present, even if they're unexpected? It's about letting the AI be more of a creative partner, not just a command-following machine. The more you understand its particular quirks and strengths, the more you can harness its true potential.
This deep dive truly showed us that sometimes the most interesting and innovative paths appear when you're open to unexpected results, like this charming puppet-like animation. It's really a testament to adaptability in the face of new tech.
Mm-hmm.
It's genuinely intriguing to see how a precise prompt can unlock such a distinct aesthetic, pushing beyond mere replication to, well, new forms of visual storytelling. It's a whole new frontier for bringing static images to life.
And this raises an important question for you, the listener, to think about. Knowing that AI can produce these distinct styles, this limited and staccato movement, what kind of stories or scenes could you intentionally animate using such an approach? How could you use it to convey a particular mood or message? Perhaps a nostalgic sequence, maybe a dreamlike narrative, or even a darkly humorous scene where that rigid movement actually enhances the emotional impact. How could you turn what might initially seem like a limitation into a powerful creative asset in your own work? It's something to mull over.